Hello?
I can hear you.
I don't know why Brandon has some issues. Let's see. Okay. So what I did with this virtual machine, I installed a role called Hyper-V. Let's see which one's that. This one here. Sometimes it's very. It's not. Sometimes they give us some kind of hard time to install it. I think we did because you have to prep it first. Anyway, you have to go to the host and write a command to allow this particular virtual machine to be um, to host another virtual machine. So that's what we call nested virtual machine. That's one. Let's see if this is going to work. If not, work on it. So how was your weekend? Long weekend? You rested? You reviewed some material? You studied? What? On vacation? Or you stayed home? Oh, let's see. Server management. No. Yeah, this particular virtual machine has 2 gig of RAM. It looks like slow, and this one has 4, so I'm going to shut down this one. Now, need some memory for this one here. I don't need this one. So, go to tools. Yay, Hyper-V is working here. See that? Let me see if I can enhance memory in here. So, you go to setting. Let's see, action. Settings. Memory 2. Can I put 4? Let's see. Well, it's going to be 4096. 4096. 4096. Why change it? Oh, sorry. Play modify device menu. Okay. So, stuff. Okay. It was 2048. So, now with this virtual machines, you can create another virtual machine. So, you go to server manager here. And to tools, you go to Hyper-V right here, Hyper-V Manager, and this becomes a host, and that's where you can create a different virtual machines. This is part of, let's see, part of your right here. Nested virtualization provides the ability to run hypervisor inside another hypervisor. It can be implemented with VMware and other virtualization platforms. So we don't care for VMware at this point. We do in Hyper-V, which is Microsoft product. Especially with Windows 16 and Windows 19, they did a lot of enhancement. Both the machine, both host machine and a VM must be running Windows 10 or Windows Server 2016. Nobody wants to use 10 unless if you want to do it for exercise, you know. one thing you need to do, and that's the mistake I did earlier. One virtual machine was set on the dynamic memory, and I was wondering why it didn't work. So after I was going, who's it? Okay, can you guys hear me well, or anybody have problem?
I can hear you now.
Okay, who's this?
Hayward,
How you doing today?
doing well. How about yourself?
Good, good. Just like wake up, huh?
Now, I've been up for a bit.
All right. So, you need to make sure before you install that role, Hyper-V role on the virtual machine, you need to make sure it's not set on dynamic memory. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And I see right here, I have a couple of them. Like this is one of them was set on dynamic memory, and I changed it. Yeah, it was enabled dynamic memory. So I tried to install Hyper-V on it and it didn't work. So make sure your virtual machine is not set. Plus, it's good to give another processor right here because the virtual machine is going to take resources from the other virtual machine. So we need to make sure we have, like they say, a beefy virtual machine. A beefy virtual machine means you have resources. Okay. Any question about this one here? Also, you can install Hyper-V support Linux and FreeBSD VMs with no special configuration if you use emulated device. So now Hyper-V you can install Linux on, which is good. So some of the newer Linux kernel includes support for integration services if the distribution you wish to install does not. So you can download them from Microsoft Download Center. Okay. When I have a microphone, can someone request check his mic? Okay. Yeah, I found this an issue with some people who have a weak signal, so they cannot hear me. So, and, how it sound now? It sounds better. Sounds better now? Not really. Can you? Let's see. Not really. Yeah. How's are you using wireless or using wire? Your laptop's connected wireless? Uh, hardwired. Okay. So I think something to do with your bandwidth. How about now? It sounds better now? Sounds better? Same? Well, let me record this one here. So you can watch this. Okay. Anybody else has problem besides the say? Okay. I don't understand that. But really, the sound quality is bad. Is that what you're saying? Anybody has a good sound quality? So they can give me some feedback on the settings. I can adjust the microphone. See, let's see. How about now? Is better? Let's see. I guess. Test 1, 2. Testing. Better now? Is it better? Better. Uh, see who else does? Andrew, you hear me well or same thing?
I can hear you. It sounds the same as before. So,
I mean, when you say as before, is it bad or is good or what?
uh, it almost sounds echoey, or not like super echoey, but like
How about now?
sounds fine. Uh,
Okay.
doesn't sound amazing, but it sounds fine to me. I don't know everybody else.
Well, next time I can use different microphone. Maybe I'll check it out. Uh, okay. Anyway, so it's very important to know how to do the nested virtualization. First, you need to enable it on the host to set what virtual machine you want it to be set as a virtual machine or a host. And the way you do that, you can go to the host, which is this one here, Cloud C. And you go to, see if I can go to desktop. Yeah, you go to desktop and you go to PowerShell. I think I have one already. Let's see. What is it? Let's see. Stuff. Yeah, it's Monday. There we go. So, yeah, right here. So if you go to edit this one here, and you need to run this command right here. See that? Get VM processor, VM name. You need to say what virtual machines you want it to be a host, act like a host so you can have a nested VM inside VM. So you need this particular command first. This one here. And you find this command in the beginning of your book. Okay, they have a configuration for Hyper-V server, and that's what I get this command from. And this command basically, you allow your virtual machine to be a host. You can host another virtual machine. That's what we call it. That's it. Okay. So those are the two topics that I thought we need to visit. We talked about this one here, and we talked about chill, and Nick teaming. Did that. Nick teaming, I was able to do that uh, Nick teaming on the host itself, but not on the virtual machine. Anyway, any question at this point about chapter 7? Because we need to have a test on chapter 6 and 7. Um, are we supposed to have the test? Did we set up time? Okay, let's see. When are we gonna have a test for Cisco? We're supposed to have a test tomorrow. Is that you guys, the tomorrow test on, I don't know, the server or on Cisco? Anyway, so let's go and over the questions in the back of the book for chapter 7. Uh, let's see. 7. Okay, so we got Windows. Question number 1. Windows 2016 Hyper-V will allow you to utilize 3 different types of virtual disk. Which of the following is not a virtual disk type found in the Windows 2016? Well, one of the options they tell you dynamic, the expanding, fixed size, and referencing, and the one is not type of virtual disk is the checkpoint. So the answer is checkpoint, which is in this case will be the letter B. B like David. Okay, number 2, they're talking about which of the following virtual disk formats is a shared virtual hard disk used with virtual machine cluster configurations when multiple VMs have access to the same virtual hard disk. Anybody remember which one is that? We did VHD, VHDX, and you have VHD set. And that's a VHD set. That's the correct answer, which is C. Number 3, when virtual disk option can be selected to allow differencing disk, something to be incorporated into a parent disk or combine the differencing disk with the parent disk to create a new disk while allowing the original disk to interchange. And that's D, merge. So the answer is merge. That's the answer for question number 3. It's letter D, like David, and the word merge. Okay? Any question at this point? No question? If you don't see the question, I can post it actually. Let's see. And do like this. Okay, so that's the question I posted here on chat if you want to see it. So a system administrator needs to create high performance SQL server. What type of disk configuration will allow the administrator to connect an offline physical disk that is connected to the host machine to VM maximize the VM's performance? The right answer is what? The right answer is what? So what's the right answer for this guy here? It's pass through disk, which is option number A, pass through disk. So the answer is pass through disk. That's your answer right here. Asking this. Now, question number 5. Say, as a system administrator, you have been assigned a task of setting up a new server cluster where the virtual machine storage will be shared. You will need the ability to specify the minimum and maximum performance values for the virtual hard disks. Which of the following features available on Windows Server 2016 can be utilized to accomplish this task? And what do y'all think? It's a storage quality of service. The answer for that one is storage quality of service. This is one of the settings we went through on configuration. Okay. Any question at this point? Are you guys still awake or went back to sleep? No pulse. Okay, I guess. How about number 6? A virtual switch with the host physical NIC bound to the Hyper-V extensible virtual switch protocol is called which of the following? So, this is the question right here. I want to post it. See the icon. Virtual machine. Yeah, right here. A virtual switch with host physical NIC bound to the Hyper-V extensible virtual switch protocol is called which is the following? And that's what we call external virtual switch. That's external virtual switch. That's the answer. Number 7, you have 3 VMs that must communicate with one another and with the host computer, but not able to access the physical network directly. What type of virtual network should you create? Okay. So this one here, paste. See. So what's the answer for this one here? If you say internal, that's the correct. Yes, that's correct. Internal. Number 8. This is the questions here. Let's see. Copy, paste. Let's see. Wow. So, number 8, I posed the question. You ought to install a new VM in Hyper-V that requires excellent disk performance for the installed applications to perform well. The applications require a virtual disk of about 200 gigabytes. The host, the host has 2 drives, one used as Windows system drive, and the other as a data drive, which is 500 gig. It's currently running a VM that uses a virtual disk stored on host data drive. The VM requires little disk access, uses only 20 gig of the host data drive, and will max out at 40 gig. What type of disk should you use for the new VM you are installing? So, as we learned, especially if you're using Hyper-V, first generation, if you want to enhance performance on virtual machines, you need a fixed size disk. You need the fixed size disk. And that's the answer. Okay. Any question at this point? Number 9, your Hyper-V server has a single disk of 300 gig being used as a system disk, and to the host, a dynamically expanded disk for Windows Server. Let me see. Let me post this one because it's a long question. Copy, paste. Okay, so that's the new question here. So what they're talking about, you have a multiple VM virtual disk has a maximum size of 200 gig, and it's currently 80 gig and growing. You have only about 30 gigabyte free space on the host disk. And you have noticed disconnections with the host OS and the constant need for virtual disk to expand cause a performance problem. You also have a plan to install at least one more VM. You have installed a new 500 gig disk on the host. And you want to make sure that the VM does not intend for the host system disk and the expansion process does not hammer this performance. What should you do? Well, that's what they say. One of the options is shut down the VM, convert the dynamically expanded disk to fixed disk. Be sure to place a fixed disk on the new host drive. Connect the VM to the fixed size disk in place of dynamically expanded disk. So the option is B. That's one of the long questions. Okay, let's see. How about question number 10? Anybody seen it? Let's see, number 10. Number 10 is easy. I will post it for you, and this is your copy paste. So, what is the oh. So you have 5 VMs. You have 5 VMs that you have created for using in a testing environment. You need to isolate all 5 VMs so that they cannot communicate. So you need a 5. That's right. So we're going to switch unique to the 5. So that's the correct answer. Number 11. Let's paste it in, copy, paste. So you have been assigned the task of creating a virtual switch in Hyper-V Manager. After assigning the switch name and utilizing the virtual switch properties windows, you are ready to continue configuring the virtual switch. Which of the following options should you select? Because your host machine has only one physical network adapter. B, allow management operating system to share this network adapter. The option is B. Number 12. What's number 12? Number 12 is I don't know if you see it. Oh, no. A VM network adapter must have a unique MAC address on the network. You have decided that you need to expand the current MAC address pool, that the virtual that is available to VM. However, you have more than one Hyper-V server on the network and are connected VMs to an external network. What negative situation should you be aware when you are expanding the current MAC address pool? Basically, you're going to be afraid of having duplicate MAC addresses, which is overlapping the MAC addresses range with another server range. So option C in your book, okay, for question number 12. Okay, number 13. Which of the following is true about using differential disk? The parent disk must not be changed. So if it's a fixed disk or PhD, whatever, so it has to be the same. Okay. Number 14. When you create a new VM in Hyper-V, you need at least one virtual network interface card, VNIC, on the VM. When you configure VNIC, you can choose to have it configured for specific VLAN. If you choose to enable VLAN authentication, which of the following options must be configured? Well, you need your ID number, which is basically the VLAN number, which is that ID number. Okay, that's option number A in your book for question 14. 15, you are working with Windows Server 2016 VM and Hyper-V. You have decided that you are going to accelerate VNIC performance by delivering packets from external network directly to the VNet. What virtual net feature would you enable? VMQ, you remember that VMQ? Virtual machine queue. So basically, you cut the middleman. You do it straight from the host to the VM. That's what we call virtual machine queue. Number 16, which of the following VNet configuration option will allow the VM to change the source MAC address and outgoing packet and allow the virtual switch to learn address other than the one assigned? And that's what we call, we'll talk about that in Cisco too. We call it MAC address spoofing. Option number D. Number 17, you have just created a VNet using PowerShell and assigned your VNet specific name. You have enabled the device naming option in the advanced feature dialog box when configuring the VNet. What PowerShell commandlet will allow you to view the virtual adapter descriptive name in the guest OS? And the answer is, let's see, right there, copy. That's the answer. Get net adapter advanced buffer. Get network adapter advanced buffer. Anybody had number 19 and 18? Can you see it? That's a long question. Oh, you have just installed a VM and named VM5, running an application that's required the best possible network performance with communication with resources on the physical layer. The host has 4 NICs. One NIC is dedicated to the host computer, and the other 2 are bound to the virtual switch used by 4 other virtual machines on the system. One of the NIC is currently unused. What network configuration would you use that would not disturb the current VM's network configuration? So what you do is virtual, let's see, that's the answer right here. The virtual switch manager bind the end-use NIC to an external virtual switch and enable SRIOV. Connect VM5 virtual network adapter to the virtual switch and enable SRIOV on the virtual network. So in order to use this feature, that network card has to support it on the host. Also, you need to enable it on the switch and then on the virtual machine network. Okay. Number 19. You have created a VM and installed Windows Server 2008. Okay, so let me copy this one because it's copy, paste. And that's the question right here. You have created a VM and installed Windows Server 2008, release 2 over the network using Pixie boot. When you start the VM, it does not attempt to boot from the network. What did you do? You need to install a legacy virtual network adapter. Install a legacy virtual network adapter. Especially if you install, you need maybe generation 1. Okay, number 20. You currently have 4 VM running on Hyper-V server. You find that VM2 sometimes monopolize the disk I/O. And you want to limit the amount of disk resources that VM2 can use to the other VMs to have satisfactory disk performance. What should you do? Enable storage quality of service on the VM2 virtual hard disk. That's option number D, like David, on question number 20. 21, you currently have 4 VMs running on Hyper-V server, and you would like to utilize NIC teaming. Which of the following NIC teaming mode can be utilized with your virtual machines? Switch independent. That's what we want to do. Okay. Number 22, which of the following load balancing model available in Hyper-V allows each virtual NIC to be associated with only one team member at the system startup? So you need to have something called Hyper-V port. Hyper-V port. Okay. Any question at this point? That's number 23. Paste. That's right. Number 23 talks about which of the following is new features in Windows Server 2016 that allows up to 8 identical physical adapters on the host system to be configured as a team and mapped to a virtual switch. Switch embedded team. The answer is switch embedded. That's the answer right here. Switch embedded team. Number 24. Let me post it right here for you so you can see it. Okay, you would like to utilize a VM access fiber channel storage, utilizing the fiber channel adapter directly from a VM. Which of the following components must be installed on the VM host computer before you can add a virtual fiber channel or SAN? Choose all that apply. Well, according to your book, they say you need the drivers and host bus adapter. Drivers and host bus adapter. Oh, that's what you need right here. You need, and the drivers. Drivers and host bus adapters. Okay, number 25. Which of the following operating system are currently supported when utilizing nested virtualization in Windows Server 2016? We already talked about it in the slide. It's still in there. It's Windows 10 and 16. Okay. Number 26, they talk about the last section we talk about right here. Let's see, which one? This. They talk about you would like to utilize Hyper-V to emulate Linux desktop and a free BSD server for testing purposes in your lab. Don't wish to use special configuration, and you do not need this VMs to optimize the performance. You have also decided that you do not want to utilize any additional services. Who created this test VM? What type of driver will you use for these virtual machines? Let's see. And the answer emulated device drivers. Okay, any question about chapter 7? That's the end of the questions. Now, let's talk about tests. We can take the test for chapter 6 and 7 tomorrow, or you want to take it Tuesday? Wednesday. Can we take it tomorrow? Let's put it that way. Because we still have a lot of chapters to go. Anybody have an objection? Take the test tomorrow for chapter 6 and 7.
Tomorrow's fine. Well, at least for me, that is.
Oh, if you're good with it, that's fine. All right. Anybody else? No pulse. You guys sleeping over there or what? Can you hear me well? No? Well, okay. So test tomorrow for chapter, let's see. Yes. Six, seven. All right. So we have a test tomorrow for those 2 chapters. Since I don't have any objection. Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna test something. Maybe next hour. I need to test the microphone. Anybody can stay with me for a few minutes to test the other microphone if it's better. I can. Okay. So stay put. And for the rest of y'all, I'll see you maybe in about an hour or so at 9:25. Okay, so Brandon, stay on. Let's see. Let me see if I can change mics. This is better. No.